Hello everyone, this is Andrew from Crown Academy of English. Today is an English vocabulary lesson, and this is part 2 in the series about business English. So, in this lesson you will learn 6 English expressions that we often use in business. So the first one is by the book, by the book. And this, so the expression is to do something by the book. We do something by the book. So what does this mean? Well, it means to do something and then we follow, when we do something, we follow all of the rules and laws. Okay, so by the book, so we follow all of the rules and laws. We do things very carefully and we make sure that we do everything correctly, exactly as the rules and laws say. Okay, so let me give you an example. The CEO is looking at the company's accounts and she says, "Our profit is very low. Are these accounts correct?" And the accountant replies, "Yes, we did everything by the book. We did everything by the book." So this means yes, we did everything by following the rules and laws. Okay, so yes, the accounts are perfectly correct. Okay, we did everything legally. Okay. And another common example is in the context of elections, because elections, everything must be done correctly. So after the elections, the police checked that everything was done by the book. So here we're using a passive. This is a passive voice in the past tense. The police checked that everything was done. So this is the passive. Everything was done by the book. By the book. Okay, so everything was done correctly and following all the rules and laws. Okay. To get the ball rolling. So this is a ball, obviously, and when a ball rolls, then it spins around and it moves across the ground. Okay, so it moves and it rolls. So this is rolling. And so this means to start something, and it's often starting a project. So starting something new. So here we are, we're in a business meeting here, and they're talking about an important project. And this gentleman, I think this is the boss, or maybe this lady. And so the boss is saying, "This is an urgent project. We need to get the ball rolling immediately." Okay, we need to get the ball rolling immediately. So we need to start this project immediately. Okay, so to get the ball rolling. No-brainer. So this is, we use this as an adjective. Okay, so this is an adjective and it's modifying a noun. And it's modifying the noun decision. So we're describing a type of decision. But first of all, let me give you the definition of this part of the word, brain. B-R-A-I-N. So brain, this is a noun, this is a noun. So this is the brain inside the head. Okay, so this is what we use, the part of our body to make decisions, to think, and to make calculations. Okay. So a no-brainer, this is a decision where you do not need to use your brain. A decision where you do not need to use your brain. Okay, so it's actually, it replaces a noun. In fact, I say it's an adjective, but we use it, it's almost like a noun phrase. So the decision where we do not need to use the brain. So a decision, it's replacing decision, in fact. Okay, let me give you an example. So yes, it's an easy or an obvious decision. Let me give you an example. Mark says, "I have a restaurant, but it's always empty. what should I do? So Mark is the owner of a restaurant and there's never any customers and he's asking for advice. What should I do? This is someone asking for advice. So John replies, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. Yes, so it's actually more of a noun. In fact, we use it like a noun. It's describing a decision, but it's replacing a noun. Okay, so let's call it a noun. So it's a no-brainer. Okay, so this means it's an easy decision. Okay, it's an obvious decision. It's a simple decision. And the decision is you should permanently close it. Okay, you should permanently close the restaurant because it's in a town where there are very few people and it will never work. The restaurant will never be successful. So it's an easy decision. It's a no-brainer. The same boat. So if you are in the same boat as someone, then you are in the same situation as someone. So same boat. So these two people, they are in the same boat. They're in one boat. Okay, they're in the same boat. So that's the literal meaning. So the real meaning is if people are in the same boat, then we say that they are in the same, it means that they are in the same situation. Okay, and we often use this to talk about a negative situation, a bad situation. So here's a common example. So these two young men are talking and John says, I'm trying to find a job in London, but it's impossible. Okay, so he cannot find a job in London. And David says, me too. I have been unemployed for 6 months. So we can say that John and David are in the same boat. Okay, they are in the same situation. Think outside the box. We often hear this in meetings, in a business meeting, and it's often bosses or managers who use this sort of expression to try to motivate people. So this is the literal meaning. So this is a box, okay? And that is somewhere here is inside the box, but here this is outside the box. So that's the literal meaning, but what does the expression mean? Well, it means to think about a problem in a different way. So to try to find creative solutions to a problem. So you have a problem that needs to be solved, and instead of thinking about it in the normal, usual way, then when you think outside the box, you start thinking about the problem very creatively in a different way to try to find an original solution that nobody else has thought of. So let me give you an example of thinking outside the box. So here are some headphones. So a company, this is the CEO, there is a company that manufactures and sells headphones, and they're trying to sell more of them. So the CEO says, they're in a meeting, and the CEO says, how can we sell more of our headphones? So he wants ideas. And Mark says, well, maybe we could advertise on TV. And the CEO does not like this idea. Well, he says, that's too expensive. How can we advertise cheaply? Try to think outside the box. So the CEO is saying, try to think more creatively. Try to think about the problem in a different way. Try to think of an original solution to the problem, a different solution that other companies have not thought about. Okay, something new and different. That's what this means, something new and different. So Jane replies, well, we could ask a famous YouTuber to use them. to use the headphones. So we could send the headphones to a YouTuber and he can promote them for us. And the CEO likes this idea. Yes, that's a good idea. So we can say that Jane is thinking outside the box. So this idea is an example of thinking outside the box, finding creative solutions to a problem, thinking about a problem in a different way. Okay, so the different way is, well, let's not pay for advertising, not directly. We will give free headphones to famous YouTubers and they can keep them. And hopefully they will say these new headphones are brilliant and I really like them. So they're giving free publicity to the company. Okay, so thinking outside the box. You often hear this in meetings and managers. Word of mouth. So this is a recommendation from a friend, colleague, or member of your family. Example: the restaurant has become popular through word of mouth. Notice the preposition here. We always say through word of mouth. So the restaurant has become popular because people have recommended it to their friends, colleagues, and family. Okay, so for example, if you have a friend and your friend asks you, can you recommend me a good restaurant? And you say, yes, go to Pizza John's on the high street, it's a very good restaurant, then we call that word of mouth. Okay, the restaurant becomes popular through word of mouth. Okay, so it's free advertising basically. That's why word of mouth is so popular, and businesses like word of mouth because it is free advertising. Okay, if you provide good service, then people will recommend your company. Okay, so word of mouth is a very good way of growing a business. And another example, Claire says this bar is excellent. How do you know it? And Jane replies, through word of mouth. Again, remember, we always use this preposition, through word of mouth. My brother recommended it. Okay, so yes, my brother told me that this bar is excellent. Okay, through word of mouth. Okay, so that's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're preparing for the IELTS exam, then click here for information about our IELTS online course. And here are some other videos that I recommend you watch.